Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here. Welcome to my channel. What I'm doing in this video is I want to give you an update on the status of my mother's condition because yesterday, if you watched my video yesterday, then yesterday you would have known that they were supposed to take her off the ventilator. But from what I heard, because of this email group that I'm not a member of, my mother's friend, went to see her at the hospital, and my mother is in ICU, and you can only see her like every 2 hours, and only like maybe 1 or 2 people are allowed to go in to see her. So they're really strict on who is allowed to see people in ICU. And but my mother's friend did go in to see her, and my mother knows she's there when she comes in to see her. My mother knows she's there. She can open her eyes and she can nod her head, which I think that's a bit odd, because if she's broken her neck, don't you think it would be a little bit difficult for her to nod her head? But she's able to nod her head. She's able to move her hands and her feet. And apparently yesterday, which was a Saturday, the doctor went in and he said that she passed all of her neurological tests, which is good, because when you break your neck, it is very dangerous. You know, you could become a quadriplegic. And I know my mom wouldn't like that. She wouldn't want anything like that to happen. So she's still in the ICU. They're still monitoring the people who are allowed to go in and see her. You're only allowed to go in and see her every 2 hours. So I am glad that she has this friend that is going to see her, because I can't go in there and my sister can't go in there, and I guess my brother and my stepdad are going in to see her. And so I phoned my sister yesterday, and I will tell you what my sister said yesterday after I update you on my mother's status. So although my mother has passed all of the neurological tests, which is good, they said that she still has inflammation, and because she has inflammation, they cannot reduce they cannot remove the ventilator. And so basically the doctor has told my mother's friend that the reason why there's inflammation was from the accident. So I imagine it's from the accident and possibly even from the surgery. I don't know. But they said that there's inflammation because of the accident. So they said that they were going to give her a really big dose of steroids to try to reduce the inflammation, so they can remove the ventilator. So, but what are they going to do? Are they just going to keep giving her steroids? And thing about steroids is steroids make you gain weight. Although I don't think that my mother's going to gain weight in the hospital, because I think she can't even eat. I think they're probably feeding her through an IV. But if she gets home and they're still giving her steroids when she gets home, then that means that she's just going to eat even more than she already is eating. So she's still on the ventilator. I mean, I just, I can't do anything about it. I'm here in the UK destitute. I can't go over there for the reasons that I've discussed in previous videos, being financial, passport, health, insurance, and the fact nobody in my family would be interested in putting me up, and I'd have to pay to stay in a hotel and pay for my transportation, and so I can't go over there. And then I've already told my mother before this happened that I couldn't go to her funeral, and I told her why I couldn't go to her funeral, for those reasons that I've already stated. So my mother's still on a ventilator, if you wanted to know. And then so yesterday I rang my sister, and my sister explained it a little bit more. Apparently, the reason why my mother fell in the first place is because she was dizzy. And she believes that, I don't know if it's true or not, but my sister, and maybe even my mother, believe that all these drugs that she has to take to keep her alive make her dizzy. I don't know if it's true or not, but she got dizzy and she fell, hit her head, and broke her neck. So she's fallen before, but my sister believes that all these drugs that she takes are making her dizzy. And then my sister said that the reason why she has to take all these drugs is because she's obese. And then if she wasn't obese, then she definitely wouldn't have to take so many drugs. She wouldn't have to take so many drugs. She would probably still have to take some drugs, but not so many drugs. And then, and the thing is that though, my mom's got people feeding her. She's never going to lose weight. She's got 3 feeders. 3 people bringing her food. So she's never going to lose weight. And then, she's probably lost some weight at the hospital, but as soon as she gets out of the hospital, her feeders are going to bring her food and she'll gain it all back. And then, but one thing that I wanted to say is I'm diabetic and I'm not as big as my mother is. Although I know I'm big, I'm not as big as my mother is. But my mother's obese, morbidly obese, and she's not diabetic. They said that she was pre-diabetic, but she's not diabetic. So I got my diabetes off my grandmother because my grandmother was diabetic as well. That was my father's mother. So diabetes isn't really an issue in her condition, and it's a good thing that she isn't diabetic, because if she was diabetic, they would have to take a lot more precautions. Because I'm diabetic, whenever I have a problem, I'm really prone to infection, and then whenever I was in the hospital for Quincy, there were complications. And then when I went into the hospital for my 2 lumpectomies, I had high blood sugar and they didn't want to let me leave. So I'm glad that my mother's not diabetic on top of everything else. So I think that concludes this video. I've updated you on my mother. She's still on a ventilator. The reason why she's still on the ventilator is because there's inflammation, and they've given her steroids to try to reduce the inflammation so they can get her off the ventilator. So it must be a really awful situation for her to be in, because she's not sedated anymore. They've given her medication to relax her, but she's not sedated anymore. But she does know she's on a ventilator. She knows what's going on. So it must be a terrible situation for her to be in, for them to have her on a ventilator like that. So I hope that my mother gets off the ventilator soon. And if you pray, maybe you might want to pray for her as well. So that concludes this video. Hopefully I find out some more information that I can relate to my YouTube viewers soon. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And it means a lot to me that you're watching my video. And I'll be making another video soon when I find some more information about my mother's health.